Yo, good people of the interwebs, we have returned. Huzzah, we are here. No Cooldown, episode 113. We are starting, kicking it off, back in the building. If we're not drowning in games, we're drowning in the existential threat of weird orange people doing all kinds of madness in places. But you know what, damn it, we here anyways. We gotta talk these games, we gotta do what we do. I am that man Trip. Hope everybody's doing well out there who is listening. We got a lot of games to talk about, a lot of things to catch up on, and damn it, we gotta do it well like we usually do. And of course, I got my podcast partner in crime, Mr. Wen Easy. How you doing, sir?
I'm chilling. I'm sorry. We'll talk about why I'm laughing in a second, in a little bit. But yeah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I hope you guys are doing good.
And now I'm curious. As to why he's laughing. Well, shit, we'll figure it out.
We'll get there. I promise you that.
All right, we'll get it. We'll get to it, man. And also, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Kai. You know what I'm saying, he out with a sprained appendix, but you know what I'm saying, a couple of rehab, put some Vicks on it. He'll be back in a few, so don't worry about it. Go show him some love in the comment section as well, and make sure you rate the pod 5 stars. You go support it in all the avenues that it is available on all audio platforms. Just type in No Cooldown, will be right there on YouTube at No Cooldown, No Cooldown Pod on Twitter. And mainly Blue Sky. Make sure you check us out on Blue Sky as well. The whole Blue Sky account, whatever the big ass, you know what I'm saying, username is, No Cooldown will be there as well. TikTok and all that good stuff while it's still here apparently. Make sure you go check us out everywhere, show us some love. But we got some games to cover, we got some news to catch up on. So when are you ready?
Born ready.
Hey man, let's get right to it. And off the bat, we have to really talk about the elephant in the room, or the elephant in the space rather. After, you know, people have settled down, you know, the fires and the huge splash that was the Nintendo Switch 2 and its full reveal at the top of April. All the new games, all the console information, just the whole fracas that has been around the Nintendo Switch 2. And it's been a lot. It's been an absolute frenzy of information, and the world's reacting to it. You know what I'm saying? Literally, the world's reacting to it. Even governments are in some ways or another, but we'll talk about that in a second. And how I want to break this down. We can start simple. We'll talk about the games, then we'll talk about the console itself, and then we'll break down the pricing. That's cool with you?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Bet. All right, so we'll start small. We'll start, you know what I'm saying, neutral. You know what I'm saying, nothing too crazy yet. Let's just start off with the games that they showed off. And first and foremost, we got Mario Kart World. Again, that new look at the new take on Mario Kart. Open world Mario Kart for the first time ever, really covering the gamut. A whole bunch of new tracks, a lot of new looks, some mechanics, the tricks. There's a cow again doing flips and everything like that. There's a whole lot of new that is in Mario Kart. And again, just curious to get your thoughts. How did you you know, think about the gameplay reveal, and what did you see that you liked or didn't like from Mario Kart World?
It looked cool. Like I thought it was cool. I thought like a lot of it was like really, really dope, man. It's overshadowed by, you know, a bigger problem. But I think that in and of itself, we love a new Mario Kart. It is pretty dope. I love the open world concept. Is interesting. Everybody was wondering like where they're gonna go from here. Yeah. And I think open world is a good idea. Some people were like, oh, what if you're able to like dig in the ground? Like I think drills at one point was like the I think it was an idea for the Mario Kart before this one or not, but it was a rumor. However, what I will say is just, you know, I don't know how this is gonna work on a Switch. Like 24 player lobbies. Yep, 24. And I'm assuming, do we all drive to the next track after the first track?
That's what they said. That's what I said. After the track is done, you got to drive to the next one.
And then what happens after that? Is the race continuous then? Like
there is a mode that does have a continuous race. I think there might be a specific mode instead of like the regular Grand Prix, where like you'll do a whole like live circuit of like one part of the map and you drive consistently through another, like kind of like a time trial, like where if you don't meet that certain time requirement, you're out. And it's kind of like it's pseudo battle royale style kind of, but it's literally that type of thing where I've seen that mode. But I think they're saying for some races in between, like you can race to the start of the next track and then get in there. What if people just don't want to go to the next track? Do you just have a timer?
Yeah,
there's so many questions around that.
So many questions, like literally, because that was another thing, was like, what if people don't want to go to the next track? What are we supposed to wait for them if they're like lagging behind? Like, what if I lost this race and I'm trying to be an asshole, and they're like, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna take my sweet ass time. You know, like that's my biggest concern.
Yeah.
But all in all, in theory, isolated from everything around it, including its price, everything around it, just the core quality of the product. Cool. That shit is cool.
Nah, facts.
Are we talking about the price? Or is that a later date?
Not yet. We'll hold it.
As its own individual entity, the game looks fun.
Yeah, fairs. I understand, and I agree. Again, it's Mario Kart. People are gonna have fun looking at Mario Kart. I think that the leap that they've done, again, in making so many things like the tracks, the world itself, interconnecting it with that, again, the co-op or single player free roam perspective, that's really cool. That's a dope thing to see. I like some of the new mechanics that were around there as well. I think it was like snacks. I can't remember what it was called, like dash food is what it was called, where like you have these certain parts on the track where you can find the dash food or whatever, and I think that unlocks different outfits or whatever, and you can do it, and you just find those on the map. That's a pretty cool thing to, add into it, just adding to that level of discoverability and just the exploration of the map. Again, the tricks look really, really cool. Being able to dodge, having a dodge mechanic might change everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't that's kind of nuts. I'm super interested to see how that plays a factor in the game. And just for me, probably the biggest thing is 24 players. 24 players is insane. That's probably what many people have wanted for a long time. Just being able to expand that set, you know what I mean? And the lobbies probably just look super, super crazy now. I'm wondering how private lobbies work. Probably in the same function, but just up to 24. Hopefully it does not change from the last Mario Kart. That would be nice. Making sure you transfer over all those little quality of life things, again, the spectator modes and all that stuff. I think it looks cool. Simple and plain. I think it looks really, really cool. Again, outside of the things that may be a little bit more center stage in the general Nintendo Switch 2 conversation. But Mario Kart World, y'all look fire. It looks fire, man. Launch day, that's fair. But shifting on here, I mean, there was the Welcome Tour game that was like that. I don't know why you made Astro's Playroom a paid game. I don't know why you make people $10 for a tutorial on shit.
Yo, they be smoking crack in Japan, bro. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that, bro.
What are you talking about, bro? I'm just looking at it so you just told me something that I could have seen for free on PlayStation. You making me pay $10 to see how you made some mechanics on shit. I can just watch YouTube. What do you mean?
Dog, that shit is nuts, bro. They're bugging.
Tweaking,
bro. I can't even say good for them. This is somebody said that this is the era. This is the Nintendo flop era, like the way the Wii U was, where it was they flew too close to the sun, and now they're gonna feel the repercussions of their actions. Because I know them Welcome Tour boxes at the local GameStop will be collecting dust. Motherfuckers will have to start dusting the case, because I can't imagine anybody but a well-off parent who knows nothing about video games buying this shit. I can only imagine an aunt with way too much money in the bank buying it for the nephew, and the dude at GameStop who's trying to move those units off his fucking inventory. You can get a Welcome Tour. This is a pretty good game for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Play with the Switch. It's pretty good for the Switch. You'll learn how to use it. You know what I'm saying? And the kid will be like, thanks. Is Mario Kart in this bitch? Can I please?
No, for real, bro. This is dog, y'all not welcome as shit with this, bro. Why you putting this behind a paywall? Y'all the same people that put Wii Sports for free ski on a Wii. What happened?
It's not the same Nintendo. It is clearly not the same Nintendo. Because Iwata would not have. I don't believe we'd be in this position if the homie was still around, bro.
Listen, man. Different times, brother. Different times. but that is what it is. We can talk real quick. I mean, Jamboree just had some extra game modes and I think some extra features that were coming for the Switch version, just the upgraded one. That was pretty straightforward. DragXDrive coming in the summer. This looks like, again, because of the Switch 2's mouse function that is there, it basically kind of make like a wheelchair basketball game, kind of similar to like ARMS, where it's like that feature show off game. I mean, it didn't look too bad. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not necessarily looking for it like all the time, but
it looked cool. Like, yeah. Great concept, but I'm not dragging my Switch. I'm not dragging my Joy-Con on a coffee table nearby when I'm playing this. Like, you know how many motherfuckers move coffee tables out the way when the Switch is in play? Like, that's what motherfuckers do if I'm playing shit. Motherfuckers is not like, yo, bring me the lap table that people be using to fucking type in their beds so I can play some drag and drop. No, y'all are bugging. Next, Nintendo, stop. Y'all are smoking crack. The same person who came up with the Welcome Tour paid game was like, they looked at the guy with DragXDrive and was like, bro. I know you want to make a motion control, but how about this? How about we put that bitch on the table? And the guy from DragXDrive was, I mean, this is my first time around here. You would know more, Mr. Welcome Tour guy. Why not? Let's do it. And now he's dragging DragXDrive down. That's what's going on here. That's how I envision the office politics in Nintendo.
It's sabotage, man. This shit's sabotage.
It's sabotage.
That's the work.
And now when his game flops, he gonna be like, well, DragXDrive ain't doing numbers.
He said, listen, bro, y'all put me up to fail, man. DragXDrive, we both in the same boat. Just fire both of us then. Like, both of us.
That motherfucker sitting there like, I just wanted to bring wheelchair basketball to the masses. I thought the game was cool. And the game looks cool. That's the problem, but I'm not playing it like that shit. No, their biggest update is gonna be controller support. And I might have to tap in.
Literally, that's it. Give me the base Pro controller like access, and then we're good. That's all we needed at that point in time, bruh. But we can slide on here and we can talk about Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Again, we're back with another Hyrule Warriors joint. Looks pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Zelda in the, you know what I'm saying, the forefront. I believe this is that in between that leads into Tears of the Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so having that seems like some pretty cool, you know, a basis to drop in terms of the narrative and the lore. And again, Hyrule style games. I mean, oh my gosh, Warrior style games. You know what I'm saying? The Hyrule Warriors joints. I think they're pretty solid. So I didn't have too much of a problem with that.
I love the Warriors Nintendo games because they take a game that you love, like they take Three Houses, they take Fire Emblem, they take Zelda, and they're like, yo, here's a storyline. If you care about this franchise, you'll probably care about the storyline, and here's a way of playing it in a mindless yet fun experience.
Yeah,
where it's not going to cost Nintendo 3 to 4 to 5 years to tell the story of what happened in between the two Zelda games. But if you're a true fan and you want to know what the fuck happened, here is a take on that, and I think that's really cool. I love that. Like, I need to go beat Three Houses before I can play Three Houses Warriors game. But I'm like, damn, this shit is cool. Like, it's a cool concept. Love what they do. I love when they do this.
Yeah, I hear it. And again, I agree. I always love those fun little spin-offs that just add that different context to what we already played before. Again, just give some freshness to it, you know. And I don't have no problem with this. I have zero problems with that, man. After that, we had just a quick look at so some GameCube classics, just the Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, F-Zero coming to, I believe, the Nintendo Online stuff. So some GameCube stuff getting ported over. We had some third-party titles that were confirmed, just a range of stuff that confirmed some third-party support. We saw Silksong for like 2 seconds and the internet exploded. So Silksong fans, rejoice. You guys are not dead yet. It's all right. You guys got it. You know what I'm saying? You'll live. But then we had a real interesting development from FromSoft. FromSoft has actually had an exclusive team up with Nintendo, and they're planning to drop I believe a multiplayer styled, again, Soulsborne style of game called the Duskbloods. And that's coming in 2026. Really interesting stuff. I have so many questions, but again, there's just a lot flying around. But in the base of it, people are saying, damn, Bloodborne just went to Nintendo. That's crazy. But how'd you feel about it?
Man, again, on paper, this shit seems cool, right? Like the product seems cool. I think I will throw my Joy-Con. Actually, I can't do that. They're so expensive. I think I will throw my Kirby plushie as hard as I fucking can at a window, because I'm over here. I see this man across the hall swing, and I'm like, he's not gonna hit me. And then he just fucking rubber bands to the back of me, and I'm dead because I'm on a fucking Switch online off the Wi-Fi. And I swear to God, if I hear in the comments, "Oh, you should have been Ethernet connected to your Switch," that's stupid. That's just stupid. I understand how to play the shit online, the quote unquote way it's supposed to be played. I didn't buy the Switch to be a fucking online machine. That's just me personally. So Duskbloods, y'all got it. Y'all let me know how that shit goes. If it's PvE all day, sure, I'll play that shit. Co-op all day. PvP, yeah, nah. I'll watch somebody else play that shit. I'm good.
Crazy.
I'm so good.
PvE. Not even, I don't even think we have probably any semblance of a story like that. They just dropping you in, man. And listen, they diversifying their bonds. They want to get some, you know what I'm saying, some smaller, digestible, you know, things in while they're working on what they got next. I don't necessarily mind that at all. It's probably just not for me, and that's okay. And that's all right. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna be mad at it.
I never touched PvP in any of the Elden Ring or Souls games. Like that's just not my cup of tea. If y'all fuck with it, I love that for y'all. I just hope it works for y'all. That's my biggest takeaway. I hope y'all don't get Smash Bros levels of internet, because y'all gonna be in that bitch. Oh my
gosh.
You're gonna have the slow roll, and it's gonna feel like the not so slow roll. You're gonna be in that bitch like, did I dodge it yet? God damn. And then you still gonna rubber band and get hit.
Bro, you go
what the fuck is bullshit?
At the beginning of the dodge roll, 7:36. At the end of the dodge roll, 7:40 a.m. He doing the Ashton Hall, bro. Drink some Saratoga with that, bro. That's some nasty work. That online about to hate y'all. That online about to ruin it.
Nintendo looking at you like, you gotta do at least 10,000. You gotta do at least 10,000.
Oh, facts. Oh, shoot, bro. Listen, again, I have no qualms with the Duskbloods. I personally do think it's hilarious how they was like, listen, we're gonna take Bloodborne and move it somewhere else, and just went to a complete different provider.
Fuck Sony.
Facts. For how they were treating them over that. Absolutely. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do that. We gonna take our talents to Miami, bro. We gonna go somewhere else with it. You know what I mean? I completely understand that. So there's that. But again, the concept of it, PvPvE, not really too much of a heavy story thing. That might not be my, you know what I'm saying, forte. That might not be my cup of tea. And that's okay. That's okay. For the people that might, you know what I'm saying, be interested in this, this could be a real, you know what I'm saying, real big opportunity for people to, you know, who haven't been familiar with the Switch environments to try and get in there because they love FromSoft. So that could be something for crossover folks. And I don't know how it's gonna go down with the Nintendo faithful who love, like, you know, like Chibi Robo and shit like that. I don't know how they're gonna take to that level of, you know, difference, or maybe that drastic of a big major IP or major company doing that, like making a flagship experience for the platform. I'm curious, you know, I'm curious to see how that drops down and how that splash really affects people who have been, like, again, like used to a certain range of content, again, the Mario Odysseys and all that stuff like that. They haven't strayed this far in a certain way in terms of their big flagship IP. I'm curious to see how that all pans out, honestly. But you know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But next, we had a game that many people did not expect. Many people were very surprised to see at all. It seems like Sakurai was at work. Many people speculated, but he was. And it wasn't the thing many people expected, because Kirby Air Riders is on the way. Listen, man, when I know you have, you know what I'm saying, some near and dear fond memories with Kirby, break this down for me, dog. How you feel about Kirby Air Riders?
The only downside about this announcement was that there was no gameplay. But like, they literally could just copy and paste the old game, and I think so many people, and add online to the multiplayer, and so many people would be happy. You know how fucking much time I spent in the city trials? Like, you know how much time I spent driving around that city collecting all the pieces to Rhino? Like, that shit is so fucking heat, it's not even funny. Game is sick. I'm very excited to see it. I need to see some gameplay of it. It's coming out this year.
Yeah.
it might be Switch 2, and that is just a paywall that I unfortunately cannot scale. You know, like I'll watch somebody else play that shit, and I think that shit's gonna be heat. You know, but I got if it's a Switch 2 exclusive, that shit's just gonna stay on the Switch 2. You know, like that's tough. whenever I can get our hands on one of those bad boys. I don't know when the fuck that will happen. But like, you know, happy for the ultra elite. You know, like,
wow, it's crazy.
Like it does look good though.
It does.
From what I could see, it does seem like they are capturing the essence of the original. But however, I hope to God we don't see them boys hit us with the fucking, oh yeah, City Trials won't be on there. Everything else that you wanted on there won't be on there. Like it's just racing. Yeah, I can hold that. But again, I cannot imagine them fucking that up.
Sakurai's on it too. I feel like he's got it close. That's very close to the chest, you know. I hear it. And again, I'm not familiar with the Kirby Air Riders, like, you know what I'm saying, that whole side of things. But I know, again, just off strength, if you see Sakurai on it, there's probably a lot of lock and key stuff that's a part of the project. You know, that's gonna be a lot of hopeful grace given and not too much meddling with the actual product of it. So we'll see what it pans out to. But topping off the end of the presentation, we had Donkey Kong Bananza. Again, a return to Donkey Kong, or 3D Donkey Kong. We ain't had one in a number of years, and it looks kind of insane to me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I can just get right into it, bro. I was very surprised to see Donkey Kong, but also I think it's very welcome. I think this looks amazing. The destructibility is, again, what stood out to many people, but also really what stood out to me. Just damn, being able to burrow, break down, pick up boulders from any piece of the environment. That technology probably is a pain in the ass to get right and get consistent, but it looks like they're doing a good job. For me, the environments look super vibrant, beautiful, solid. The gameplay looked pretty crisp, and again, that destructibility factor looked super dope. I was surprised to see Donkey Kong, and then I was super impressed by those pieces of gameplay that I saw. I'm like, damn. Okay, wait, this actually looks like wait, no. Oh my gosh. Listen, Donkey Kong might be coming back for a crown or two, man. They trying to come back and get something. I don't know how you felt about it, but I thought it was impressive.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty dope. It reminded me of seeing Kirby Forgotten Lands for the first time, where I'm sitting there and I'm just like, wow, this is pretty. I love the visuals. I love the game feels like its own thing. Like I feel like it's not like, oh, we took Donkey Kong and put him in like a Kirby-esque world. Like, no, this is like its own. The environments feel like like very Donkey Kong-esque.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way to describe it. It's something new I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
The destructibility of the terrain seems very interesting, and knowing Nintendo, what we see is not all that's going to be there. Like I feel like it's going to get a lot more interesting than just being able to dig, so to speak. And I honestly am really happy for Donkey Kong to get his own 3D adventure. But it feels very much like Kirby Forgotten Lands, where people who are not tapped into Nintendo or don't have Switches are gonna be like, that should look like ass. But I fucking loved Forgotten Lands. That is my shit. And it was a lot of fun, especially for somebody who's a fan of not Mario. Because if you're a fan of Mario, you're eating till the cows come home. You're always gonna get food. Same thing with Zelda. But Donkey Kong, Kirby, like you don't get major big ass games all the time. So I'm really excited for the people who enjoy Donkey Kong. And I hope the difficulty from the 2D platformers is still there to some degree. Like I hope it's not an easier like experience similar to a Kirby. But I think that they're gonna do right by their fans.
Yeah, 100%, man. For me, I was very interested in this. I think that probably is my favorite reveal out of the lot for me. Like it just looked super interesting, super interesting. But we can put a pin on those games and we can talk about the next phase, the console itself. So we had some details about everything from the specs and performance, talking about it's being up to 4K docked, 120 FPS capable. It's got game sharing features. So again, the local and online things, you can game share between folks. The game chat functionality, like kind of pseudo discording things, with party chat showing cams. being able to voice chat and stuff like that in various levels. The C button functions as well that were tied into that. The Switch 2 camera. Shout out to the iToy because you never left my mind, gang. You know what I'm saying? You were ahead of your time. And all of that package, and those specs, everything that comes with it, launches June 5th, 2025. So from a console perspective and the hardware itself and what the features and functionality in the base without any of the games, how do you feel about that?
No.
Nope.
Like I don't want to be this guy. No.
Oh my gosh. I hit my ear on the mic. That was so fast.
Like I love what y'all doing. I love what y'all do. You keep it up, kid. It's like watching the kid on your high school like you're the coach of a high school basketball team. You got the kids who are definitely playing in college. Even if they're definitely trying every day. Then you got the kid at the back of the pack. And then summer comes and that motherfucker hits he goes from 5'5" to 5'10". And now he got a little bit of a layup. And you're like, oh, you can get a layup.
He getting up there.
That's what's up. But the same kids who playing ball, the motherfuckers is dunking. You know what I'm saying? You're just well, I'm happy with your progress. Don't compare yourself to them. You keep going, kid. But you are not my starter. I'm not gonna lie to you. You will be. Maybe you keep it up. You might be 6 man on some real shit. You might be the 6 man. But no. 120 FPS. That shit finna fry the battery. I don't believe that shit is gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a sturdy 120 FPS. That's just gonna be a sturdy 120 FPS on Celeste. That is not Donkey Kong. Bananza is not running a 120 FPS. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I eat these words, but I feel like I'm gonna go hungry.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see. Internal storage 256 gigabytes. Awesome. I'm still probably gonna have to buy an SD card because you're gonna make the games bigger. So really nothing crazy. Great. I'm happy you guys decided to put storage in the device. Great. Shout out to y'all. 2025, 256 gigabytes. Sick, awesome. Big claps. 3D audio, sure. With 2C ports, I think it's interesting because I don't think it's a bad thing because you can also plug in your if you can plug in your controller while that shit is not docked, you're just playing let's say you're on a flight and you just want to use your pro controller to play Zelda. I think that's cool because now I don't have to worry about charging my controller before I go, because that's the one thing that I always hated when I would take my Switch. I'd have to charge my pro controller because I never like to play handheld, especially when I'm on a plane and there's a little table. Why wouldn't I use that? But anyways, cool. 4K docked. I think that's a lie, or not a lie. It is 4K docked for sure, but it's 4K in the sense that on a 4K TV, it's not gonna look blurry. They will have 4K resolutions for the menus. The games will have the resolution of 4K, but I would not expect God of War Ragnarok 4K on quality mode when it comes to the games. That being said, I could see it running games crispy like that, but I don't think it's going to be at no 120 FPS, and that's important because it says at 1080p 120 FPS. I still feel like 60 is fine. I don't see, unless you're playing a shooter. And I think shout outs to Ken knows it because we had this conversation before we had this podcast.
Thanks.
It's true. I bought a PC. My monitor goes up to 140 FPS. I only ever run games at 120 because I like it locked, because 140 sometimes it's when you're running 3 monitors. 120 I can lock it. I can get 120 no problem. I don't see a scenario where the Switch is running 120 FPS on a fucking Donkey Kong Bananza game, and if it is doing that shit, it's going to fucking die in an hour. And that is my biggest problem, is I have yet to hear anything about this battery life, because I truly believe the battery life is non-existent. I think that shit is going to be a 2-hour window, and then you have to charge that shit. And they're going to be like, well, you can also just buy a portable battery, which it's not a bad idea. Yeah. I would buy one. But at the same time, what's the point of 120 FPS if I'm only going to be able to play the shit for an hour, And that's just speaking on the specs. I think it's cool what they're going for, but I think they're kind of stuck in between high performance console and handheld device. and they're trying to get a happy medium. But I feel like you're not getting necessarily the best of both worlds. I think they should have dropped it down from 120 to 60 with a long battery life.
Yeah.
And then when you dock that shit, you jump up to 4K, but still keep it at 60. Because again, I just don't really know of any Switch games where I need the extra 60 FPS or where that 60 FPS is going to be a game changer. You know, like it's like, oh, I need it. Because even when you're playing like a game like Mario Kart and you're playing competitive ranked Mario Kart, if you're on Ethernet, you're good. But if the motherfucker playing on not Ethernet doesn't fucking matter how many frames you get, that rubber band or whatever the fuck happens, like it's gonna lag. Like that's the problem I have, is that it's just not necessary. And if you want to argue with me, you need the extra 60, go crazy. But before you do that, I need a screenshot of the TV you're playing that shit on, and I need to see that it even goes up to 120. Because motherfuckers be like, I need the extra 60.
If you got a fat back TV that you playing out of, brother, you need help. You need help,
bro. Because a lot of things, the thing that really kills me is that Switches are most oftentimes played on a TV, and people will be like, my TV can go up to 120 FPS, but they're not playing it on the fucking right settings, and they're playing that shit where it will only get 60, and they don't even know that. Like, that's the part that I think it'd be killing me.
Yeah.
But again, some people will probably enjoy the extra 60. I will never notice the difference because I'm gonna be playing like single player games on this, because I'm not playing Marvel Rivals on the Switch, dude.
Yeah, nah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I think you highlighted something that really stood out for me. Again, like a lot of this stuff, let me start with a positive though. The look of it does look damn good. It looks good. It looks good. Like the aesthetics, all of it, smoothness, looks so good, bro. I can absolutely see it hanging somewhere around my setup and room. Like it's sleek, clean as hell, bro. All the hardware and stuff that's attached to it looks dope. Will never take that away. Will never take that away.
Bigger buttons on the fucking side of the Joy-Cons.
Come on,
thank God.
We need that, bro. Bro, again, like facts. Did y'all damn thing.
The lobster claws fucking method when playing this shit.
Trying to put it in, bro. Like, yo, what are we doing?
If you didn't have the straps, bro, if you were walking around strapless, you're cooked, bro.
So cooked, bro. Look like I'm trying to do Modern Warfare 2 trick shots, trying to control that shit, man. But
bro, Mr. Like, Krabs ass.
For real, man. Our head ass. Like, what's going on, man? Like, yo. But still, great job on that. Again, just that stuff looks good. You didn't do anything with the interface, so that's kind of negligible. You know, you just did the same shit, is what it is. But where I find issue is you're giving me all the feature breakdowns of the game sharing and all that stuff like that, and the specs and performance up to 120 FPS and 4K docked and all that stuff. Sounds great, you know, sounds great. But for me, and again, shout out to Ken knows it because he highlighted this, and I took a lot of I agree with a lot of what he said. You're saying this, but for a lot of things that you're opening up to, especially with the online components of where these games are, opening up to third parties who have online segments as well, where's the online improvement? Where is the outlined, like, ironclad details of how you improved online connectivity in the hardware itself and in the software of all your servers and connecting to it? Some statement about that, because that's been notorious. Obviously, they're never going to do that because they do not give a shit. We can call a spade, but for me, still, if you're gonna open up and say, oh man, this is comparable to you know, a PS4 and all stuff like that, and we got all these online offerings, the Duskbloods in 2026 is gonna be PvPvE online stuff. If you're gonna say all these things about expanding that bracket and expanding those bounds, where is the consistency about the online and how you improve that? Where's some type of details? Anything? Because me personally, I ain't heard a peep. Have you heard something about online connectivity?
No.
I ain't heard nothing.
Not one word, and that's the biggest concern. Is like, bro, what are we gonna do when the games are running like shit? Not because the console is bad, not because my Ethernet isn't plugged in, but it's like the actual environment that you've set up for this shit is awful. You know?
Facts, bro. It's like again, it can only stand as well as the foundation sits under it. You know what I mean? It can only stand for as long as that foundation is solid. And if you're giving me the same crap environment, barely even an Opera, you know what I'm saying, browser in there, and nothing else to really supplement and really solidify a decent internet connection between all these intensive games, what are we doing? What are we doing? And what was the point of all these upgrades and stuff if it's still gonna run like crap in one way or another because of the online? Like that was the biggest thing that stuck out for me, of like, you got to do something to address that, and that remains to be seen. That was my biggest thing. Everything else, again, sounds cool. You wait to see if you do it or not. I doubt some things. Again, 120 FPS capable is not 120 FPS consistent, so we gonna see what the middle ground is for that. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can hold 60 in a good amount of y'all games, I'll chalk that up as a win, because I don't believe in 120 FPS for y'all. I don't do it consistently in like most things in like Nintendo Select titles. I don't know. Well, that remains to be seen. But again, we'll figure it out. But overall, the specs and the performance things, they seem cool, but there are bigger fish to fry, and there's a lot of things to prove for Nintendo where they haven't been as quality in those areas, in my opinion. But that's really how that goes. And we can take the safety off now, bruh. Take the safety off, when it's time to talk about the pricing. All right. We've seen all the things that were ran through across that presentation, and even things afterwards up to today, where we were seeing some information come out about again, there's no free patches from what we've seen for most Switch 2 upgrade games. You're gonna have to pay that upgrade fee for upgrading games from Switch 1 to Switch 2. So I believe Jamboree is one of those, and just some other assorted joints. I think some third-party developers may have some say in what they choose for their pricing points. Maybe not. I think everything might be 15 standard if they're given an upgrade. We'll see. Peripheral pricing definitely differs. The base is going to be $449, and due to all the tariffs and stuff, that has not changed. Again, I know there was a hold up in the pre-orders and stuff like that. The pricing has not changed. It will be $449 base console, $499 for any big game bundles like the Mario Kart bundle. And there was a note that the peripherals will change in pricing, though. The peripherals will change. We got a report today that's showing again, some of the things out there, like a Joy-Con 2 pair would be $94. That's
what I was laughing at.
Yeah,
earlier in the episode, that's what I was laughing at, because I was like, 95, so $100.
$100 for 2 pairs is nuts, bro.
2 Joy-Cons is crazy.
I'm just reading through the read through. It didn't hit me until you just said that. 95 for a pair.
Dog,
Air Maxes was 95 at one point, and that was still too much.
Bro, like that is crazy. And if stick drift isn't fixed, you might actually be fucking cooked, because you might need to buy one of those back. I want to say I bought an extra pair of Joy-Cons, only one, and I don't use my Switch often, and I don't even use the Joy-Cons often, but I had to buy an extra pair because my shits was tweaking. Yeah. And that was into my, and I bought it from, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like my Switch isn't old. My Switch is probably one of the first generations. So we're not gonna sit here and pretend like, oh, I bought my Switch brand new. But I needed to change my Joy-Cons, and it was like, what, I think it was 80 back then, and I was still like, Jesus Christ. So man, it's so quiet for the Switch. Not even trying to be an asshole, but $95, and I'll be the first to say, yeah, I'm broke. I don't got it like that. $95 for a Joy-Con. Them bitches ain't even good for
peripherals.
They're not, in my opinion, they're not my favorite controller to use on the Switch. The Pro controller is my favorite controller to use. And I'm not paying no $95 fucking dollars. I'm sorry,
bro. That's crazy. Pro controller is $10 less than that shit. That's wild. That's really wild, bro. And to top it all off, the granddaddy of them all, the thing that really got.
And that's hold on a second. Still $80 for a Pro controller is kind of fucking crazy.
That's still nuts too. That's still nuts.
But that's still bananas. That's still, because it's PlayStation controllers got the whole haptic feedback shit, and I still think that shit's a little overpriced. But what is HD Rumble 2? That shit is fucking I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
They ain't doing nothing with that, man. They ain't doing nothing with that. Craziness out of their minds. But I agree, bro. There's just some things that just like, it's untenable for me in that way. And when you add on top the fact that they're starting to move the needle in terms of the price points of games themselves. $80 digital games, $90+ for physical copies on certain ones, and the trend starting. Mario Kart World being $80 out the gate. And that seems to be the beginning of many more people starting to move this needle on. We're up in the price of physical copies and even digital copies. Everything is getting that markup now, bruh. Listen, go ahead.
Dog, it's crazy. It's crazy. The fucking, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Again, I'm gonna say this another time. I'm sorry. But there's no Nintendo game. There is absolutely no Nintendo game that I have played that I was like, damn, bro, I'd pay an extra, what, 40 bones for 30 bones for this shit. I've never played, and don't get me wrong, I've bought on release that were plus 60. I think was Tekken 8 plus was in the $70 era, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think it was probably.
So we got Tekken. I bought the Ultimate Edition because I buy season passes for fighting games. That I was like, but the amount of I got 100 hours out of that game. I'm good on that, John. That got me my money's worth. Freaking Monster Hunter Wild. That is not. That shit was expensive in my opinion, but your boy definitely got his motherfucking money worth. I can't think of one game. Every Pokemon game, and I think Pokemon is the closest I've ever got to it. But the problem is that Pokemon is held back by the fucking hardware. And do I think Scarlet and Violet would have been a lot more fun on like a PlayStation? I think it would have been, or on anything else. It's just the frame rate. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Is it just doesn't run that smooth. I just have never, and there's just no Switch game that I put that many hours into, where I'm like, whoa, this game is worth that amount of money. The game I put the most time into was Smash Bros. And even then, if the new Smash Bros was $100, I'm not buying that shit. That's just not, especially to play on that online. Like, there's no purpose for it,
bro.
An extra 10 for physical is also fucking crazy. At this point, it sounds like y'all broke. And when you realize that Nintendo has sold more just copies of Pokemon than some companies have sold entire, like the top 10 most selling, I think I saw this on TikTok and I could be wrong, but it doesn't feel like it is. It's like the top 10 most selling games on Xbox don't even touch Pokemon's regular sales. Because it's a craze, and I believe it, because Pokemon sells millions of units, and you're telling me y'all motherfuckers is that down bad where it's gonna be like, yo, it's gonna be an extra 10 to get the actual physical? Like, why? What? Why? And y'all never push it on sale neither. Like, it's not like it's gonna be 90 on release, but by 6 months from now, it'll probably drop down to like 60, 50. Like, it won't.
And this is what it is, bro. Again, they'll say, oh yeah, what a win, we're not moving the base price on the console. Yeah, I mean, I think the console $449, that's a fair price. I think that's pretty fair. But where
it's fine, like, it's not the worst. It could be way worse. Yeah,
it could be incredibly worse, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the level of hardware that's in there and stuff like that, where I know I can get something much better elsewhere in the market, $449 is not that bad. It's not that bad. But where they lose me is how much they're upcharging for people to add to their environment, add to that ecosystem, bro. $80 for a digital, and this is only the beginning, bro. When ZA come out, you bet your ass that's gonna be, I can put money on that right now. I'll put $1 on that. That's gonna be 80 solid out the gate. That's gonna be 80. I tell you that right now. When Switch is out, that's gonna be 80, no questions. You know what I'm saying? Next Zelda game, that's gonna be 80. All your flagship shit is gonna be 80. Any underhanded card, gonna probably be a solid 70 or whatever. And who's to say this is not the beginning of them trying to move everything, trying to market everything as these big marquee releases, and then eventually move everything to 80. All your Mario games, your platformers, that shit gonna be 80. That's 80. Yeah. And I'm seeing people defend it. People are defending spending more. Like, bro,
no.
I've been at a loss for words at how many people have been trying to conjure up so many arguments to basically undermine the basic rights of a consumer. Let's advocate for the side that you're on. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't never seen so many people like, bro, if you had the companies further in your mouth, they'd be a part of your nervous system, gang. Like, I haven't seen this level of corporate shilling in a minute, bro. It's bad. It's bad. I'm like, I'm at, again, a loss for words at how bad it's gotten. There's people just justifying it. Oh, you pay for collector's edition. Some people do pay for collector's edition for getting extra content. Whatever, it is what it is. I understand you're trying to conjure that argument, but all of it
is an ass argument. Yeah, that argument is dog shit. What do you mean? This isn't a collector's edition. This is just a physical copy of the game.
Thank you. It's a base game. All of it falls flat when we just want to play the game at a price that is fair and reflective of people's spending power. We are not making any more money as a collective, at least in the United States, than we did several years ago as a people. Minimum wage is still the same in many states. People's incomes and median have not increased. What are we doing? And you're saying, man, nah, I'm about to pay this 80, bro. Y'all just broke, boy. Just say that. You are an enemy of progress. I need you to understand that. If you're on that side, you're an enemy of progress. And you need to step aside and step down, bro. Leave, hold your tongue. Shut up. Your opinion is not welcome here, bro. We're trying to help everybody wallets. This don't need to be, again, an e-wallet flexing contest, bro. It needs to be something that takes care of so many people who may or may not get access to these games because of these increasing prices. People who are, again, they might only get one game a year. You know what I'm saying? The little kids that might only get one game a year, the people that have to, again, budget and save because they making real life decisions. You know what I'm saying? That's a collective thing. That's for everybody. This ain't a moment to be an individual and have a pissing contest about, oh man, I could afford two versions of Mario Kart. I'm gonna get the bundle and the individual game. Clap it up, man. You want a cookie? You want a cookie on the track? Shut up. It's not for you. This is for the collective, bro. This is insane, ridiculous, bro. Nintendo, again, I'm gonna be real, still has proven to be one of the biggest sharks in this whole corporate sea of gaming, bro. It is what it is. We gotta call a spade a spade. It gotta call a spade, bro. Their practices still have been so very aggressively anti-consumer over the years. It is wild to see how consistently that's played out. I cannot stand for that, bro. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that prices. And you're gonna tell me you're charging all that when, again, you have competition out here that has access to, again, the same third-party games that you're probably getting access to. Again, the Xbox is hooking up with Asus ROG. They're getting something going. The Steam Deck's still out here going strong. And you're telling me that, oh, I gotta charge 80 for your games when I'm gonna get access over the next couple of years to handhelds that are more powerful than you, have access to the same games that you have, and have way better deals to give me access to those games, barring a couple of exclusives that you have. It's wild to me. Yeah. Listen, I understand Luffy's point. I get Luffy's point why he does the thing he does on the Jolly Roger. If you understand, you understand. And that's they in the hole they in now because of that. Like, there's just certain levels of, again, it's that Gabe Newell quote, bro. Certain things happen because certain access isn't given. Proper service is not given to the customer, and things happen accordingly. That's all it is, bro. But these prices ain't it. Thumbs down.
No, they're awful. And it's just only gonna, and even the people who are like, well, I'm gonna pay it, it's like, okay, well, that's fine. Well, when your Mario Kart lobbies are taking longer to populate because nobody's on it, because motherfuckers can't afford the entire shebang of what Nintendo's offering, you gonna feel it. And when they're like, damn, you know what? Like when you get sick, when they drop a Switch 2 Lite, which will be like, not even a Switch, because it's not the console that's a problem. When they start dropping the game prices and you're like, well, I paid $90, what do I get? And you're like, oh, nothing, because you decided to pay $90 and they got you for the $90. Like, that's just what's gonna happen. It's unfortunate, but it's like when you have games that are 90 bones a piece, bro, I can't even imagine people buying the console to begin with. Like, I wouldn't buy my kid a $90 Switch 2, not because I don't think the Switch 2 is expensive, but it's like, that's a $90 commitment every time he wants a new game, and that's just not gonna happen.
And that's frequency, that currency of like, dang, there's a game dropping every quarter and stuff. They got this rollout 90, 80, 90, 80. Like, bro, that's a serious consideration that real people make, that real adults make in real time. Those things add up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just anti-consumer, gang. I can't get hip with that. I can't get jiggy with that shit. Simple as.
No, man. Like it's bananas, and we'll see what happens. You know, if y'all got it, y'all got it. I hope it works out for
millions of y'all will fold. Millions of y'all will fold, and I get it. Y'all just want to play the games you play. Y'all have the means to. I understand, but just know, do not make this an individualistic flexing competition when other people opt out or they can't get to that point. And even to that, there was a whole thing I saw as well about just the whole philosophy on it about, oh, like, if you can't afford a Nintendo Switch 2, get the Switch 1. I can't remember who exactly. It was Doug Bowser. It was Doug Bowser recently. He was talking about it. He was like, yeah, well, if you can't get the Switch 2, just get a Switch 1. You know what I'm saying? Just get a Switch 1 or whatever. So that's them trying to justify literally being years late on an upgrade to the Nintendo Switch, and not even a brand new console generation. It's not a generation. This is just their PS4 Pro or PS5 Pro or the Xbox Series X to their S. This is literally that. They just got it years late to try and do half measures. I'm not the person to do half measures with my gaming anymore. I'm not that type of person, bro. That's why I haven't been in the Nintendo ecosystem like that as much over the past decade, to be real. I'll have little touch and goes with it, but for a couple of things, I don't want to be in that ecosystem that does half measures, me personally. And again, you'll have the loyalists, you'll have the people who are going to play Nintendo to a fault, and they're going to spend their money because that's what they're going to do despite themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're under the flick though. They're you know what I'm saying, brainwashed, for lack of a better term. But y'all spend your money how y'all spend your money. It is what it is. But I just don't want there to be that level of contempt for other people and anybody trying to be elitist because people don't want to buy into the anti-consumer BS. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. No, I mean, and I don't see, I genuinely can't imagine people being like, I can't imagine anybody who's making fun of you for not having a Switch 2 is like, oh man, you can't afford a cocaine addiction. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That shit is ass. Also, the Doug Bowser shit was stupid because that's bold of you to assume that the people who are waiting for the Switch 2 or waiting for the Switch to, like, bold of you to assume the people who want to buy a Switch 2 don't have a Switch 1. And we're just waiting to see. Like, that, they're not buying the bullshit. There's a reason they didn't buy a Switch 1 now. That shit came out in like 2017. There's a reason motherfuckers is not buying that shit because the shit is ass. It's a cool console until you realize that shit is way out of date.
Again, how many half measures does Nintendo have to make until the rest of the market starts to really gain on them? And they have they have a lot of loyalty in their consumer base, and branding and brand perception plays a lot in their success, and that's fair. But how long until the gap closes in certain areas and they're not able to sustain that level of success that they did? Because the mobile market is moving and it's edging closer to where Nintendo's taking up some market share. The handheld competition in and of itself ramping up. Steam Deck has already shown they're vastly superior in a lot of different areas. The ROG is there, and if Xbox is taking the ROG somewhere, that means they're taking Game Pass with it, and that's a whole nother kettle of fish that you have to deal with in terms of a much better pricing strategy for the current time that we're in, and having to deal with that. And then you have PlayStation, which they're obviously going to come out with a brand new PS something. I don't know what, a brand new PSP. I don't even know what it is, but they have something on the horizon too, because you bet your ass that they want in as well, and they have their services. So when the walls are starting to close in a little bit, will they have enough to withstand the pressures that other companies will bring in this space over the next couple of years and entire other market forces? We'll see. But me personally, it's not going to be as bright of a splash as many people think in the long run for the Switch 2, in my opinion. Again, it's probably going to sell like hotcakes out the gate, but long run, when things start to catch up and other people start to bet in, might look a little bit different than some Nintendo fans anticipate.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. But we can slide on here. We can look at the quick bites, run through some other stories here. FBC Firebreak, a co-op game from the folks at Remedy, that little spin-off of Control. We had a new gameplay look, some fresh perspectives on what it's going to be like, the breakdown of what the game is. And how we're gonna get on with it, man. Just it's got a bit of the time scale. It's gonna be set about 6 years after the events of Control. Again, just 3 players, drop in, drop out. There was a lot of emphasis on ease of access and easing into the experience, not really any FOMO or grind, just being able to get in there, play certain missions and jobs, and yeah, just have a whole bunch of fun with like the augmented tools and weapons that you have at your disposal, being able to again select those different jobs and difficulties, and yeah, just playing that way and kind of getting in, doing your job and getting out. So what'd you think of some of the new looks for FBC Firebreak?
You know what game I re-downloaded, but didn't get a chance to replay it, but I re-downloaded was Army of Zombies 4, I think is what it's called. Let me double check. It is Zombie Army 4. It is the people who made the Sniper Elite series.
Oh
They
yeah,
had, like, the
okay.
zombie game. That John, because I wanted to play like a zombie game, but I didn't feel like downloading Call of Duty. So I wanted to download something similar to this, and this game feels like it's gonna scratch that itch for me, where it's like I want to just run around, shoot some zombies, or not zombies, but like, you know, monsters mindlessly. And it seems like a really, really fun time. I love that they said you could play it up to 3, but you can really run it by yourself, which is like beautiful to me, because it means that I don't have to worry about people being online, or if my friends aren't into it, I don't have to bug them. This game seems like it's going to be a really cool vibe.
Yeah.
Just running through, like, it just seems like a mindless shooter, and that's kind of like what I want. Like, I enjoy a game like Marvel Rivals, but that shit can raise your blood pressure, especially when people like to pick 60 DPS. Well, 5 DPS, because I'd be on Rocket if we run at 5 DPS. Fuck it, I'm gonna learn something today. But it's like that kind of a vibe where you're just running around shooting some monsters. I'm really excited for it. I'm actually gonna, whenever it comes out, I'm actually gonna have to tap in, because I love me a good survival game like that. Same.
And again, coming Game Pass and PS and PS Plus Extra day
Come
one,
on, bro.
So
like that's clutch. That's super clutch.
Again, the word that really is or the phrase that's really standing out to me is just ease of access. Getting into the game, yes. Whether it be, again, just from the top down, pricing, you can get Game Pass Ultimate, jump into the game, get PS Plus Extra, jump into it immediately in the summer, drop in, drop out, you know, just that, getting to the experience quickly and enjoying that fun time. Again, and for me, co-op, having that ease of use to get with your friends in a flash and then get into the game, that's really important for me. And it seems like that's something that they've been emphasizing, man. I'd say the gameplay looks really cool. Again, it's not you're running around like you're in control and stuff like that. You got powers. Nah, it's not like that, you know, but still, the premise looks super fun. The gameplay looks really crisp. I like all the kooky Remedy style gadgets and tools and monsters that you're able to, you know, run across and fight. Again, the questions probably for me would be the content funnel, how quickly you're going to get different jobs in there, different difficulties, weapon expansions, how consistent will that loop be to keep the game running in the future for long term. But outside of that, I get good vibes. This is something I'm definitely playing. I told people from time, man, co-op gaming, that's the new baseline. That's the new baseline. I told y'all, man, people are going to be gunning for co-op stuff left, right, and center. That is the new frontier that's going to be re-explored in this gaming space in the next, right now to the next 5 years. That's what's going to be the new baseline, bro. BRs are tiring. People can't get into open world stuff as much. Co-op and that digestible, friend-based, really viral moment capable games, those experiences, that's gonna be the new wave that keeps everybody flowing, and that's been happening for the past year and change. Now it's only gonna get like more intense as we go, and FBC Firebreak could really be a big standout in that wave, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, shout outs to them. I love the vision. I will be in there. I'll have my turret maxed out. I promise you that. Like that's I'm playing solos, but if y'all want to jump in, let me know. I'm playing solo because that's just how I play zombies. That's how I play all those games.
Yeah, fairs. Nah, I'm definitely ready to jump in, man. That's gonna be a fun time. Definitely gonna be a fun time. But we can slide on here to the next piece. Another co-op game, Wildgate. We had some info about this a couple of weeks ago, probably late last month, and I definitely wanted to touch back on it. Really looks like not necessarily a space exploration game, but it's kind of like a co-op PvPvE kind of an extraction type of deal here. I got a lot of vibes of another co-op game that's coming out called Jump Ship, where you're able to control your own, like, you know, your own space vehicle. You're able to, you know, drop into certain environments in the space, go after a certain treasure, but also you have other people in the environment as well who are looking to take that treasure off you. You're getting into, you know, mid-space battles. You can invade people's ships, blow up their stuff, set traps, have different characters and loadouts, a lot of loot you can pick up. A really cool idea. I think a really cool idea. What you think of Wildgate, man?
I think it was a really cool idea as well. That's like the what I was actually gonna say. I think one thing, I was like, I wish it was just a PvE mode, man. Like, I like PvP, but again, like, I'm not super competitive these days. So I would have loved to just like run this against some robots, play with my girlfriend, like that type of vibe, just super chill, laid back. But what I will say is that I think it kind of could be similar to a Sea of Thieves vibe.
Yes.
But in space.
Yes.
Like I could see something like that. Like
Yes.
that. It could be cool. It could be cool. So I hope for those who play it, like, let me know how it is. It could be a really, really, really fun time. And I would play it if people were like, yo, hop in. We're going to have like a dedicated group of 4 type vibe. Like I'd definitely be down to try it. But honestly, really, really cool. It looks like online Sea. It looks like in space Sea of Thieves.
100%. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all give me custom lobbies with this, and I will play this 100% just to get people on board and see how people go. Like that would be a fire addition. Having private lobbies to some extent, making that again, like just giving people that custom experience. I would love it. I would love it. Tell you that much. But we can also slide on here and really talk about Ubisoft, man. They've been in the news a whole lot over the past couple of months, as many people understand. And we had some rumors develop about Ubisoft creating a new battle royale style game, akin to and in much of the style of Apex Legends. They apparently are making a BR game that's heavily inspired by Apex Legends, and apparently some of the Ubisoft execs are really pushing for an opportunity with Apex failing and having dropping player count, so to speak, and thinking that this might be a good chance for them to slip into the market. Wen, how do you feel about this news?
Oh man.
I was trying to be professional, bro. I was trying to be professional. Damn.
It's just funny because it's like, oh man, the firefighters suck, man. We're in a burning building. Who's gonna save us?
You dead ass beat me to it.
You look up, it's like the Human Torch. like Ubisoft is gonna be is our savior.
Hey yo.
Like, no, that's not what I want to see. That's not what I want to see right now.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh,
like that shit is fucking crazy. Like,
oh my gosh, bro. That's so funny. It's like, yo, again, to use the burning building example again, it's like one person, like the building's burning, right? And one person's kind of like still trying to salvage things and get out. They are like escaping. They're on the way out. One person runs on the way in. It's like, yo, I've been waiting to move into this building for a while. This room is mine. Let's go. Like, but the whole building's burning, dog.
Like, you're on some shit right now, brother. This is not the time. It's
absolutely not.
It's like, man, because we all know when Ubisoft gets their hands on a BR, they definitely support that shit, right?
Shout out to Hyperscape, boy. Whoa,
bro. Whoa. Motherfuckers is having a ball on that game too. That's no disrespect to Hyperscape. It was
a great game till that one update and then death a week later. Oh my gosh.
That shit got hit with the Ubisoft treatment. That's like literally what happened. Like that shit got Ubisofted.
Dog. Ubisofted? Yeah, somebody got to trademark that shit, man. Hey, listen, you've been Ubisofted, man. That's some real shit. But dead ass though, bro, why? What is the point? Apex is literally already dropping in player counts. They're not solving the problems of making a great BR experience at the moment. It's not happening for them. And at a bigger scale, BR in and of itself is getting stale. It was getting stale like 2 years ago. Why are you jumping into a pool that's drying out? What is the point? Why do you want to swim when there's a drought coming? Why do you want to swim now? What is the no? It doesn't work.
It don't make no sense. And they're gonna do that, and then it's gonna be like, oh, cool. Like, let's get into the BR thing, and then like next quarter. We lost. This battle royale was not the fucking.
We shut it down after spending 75 million trying to get this stuff together. Just didn't work out, guys. Just, you know what I'm saying? Look out.
It was not the fucking thing we thought it was gonna be. We thought it was gonna make a lot more money, and everybody on the call is like, "Who the fuck thought?" Like,
bro, who is we? We did not think that at all. You did.
We told you that shit was we told you that idea was dumb as fuck, and they're like, nobody could have expected this.
This is unprecedented. Like, no, it's not, bro. It's not. Like, gosh, bro. And we'll get to more Ubisoft news in a little bit, but it's just like, you can only go so far as a company as the level of awareness your execs have, and if they are very disillusioned and jaded people, it doesn't bode well for how you're received in the marketplace, bro. Why are you even there? Why are you even there? Don't even do it. Just relax. I really hope this peters out to be nothing. I really do, because just don't waste all of our time. Don't do it. Don't do it.
There's just not many times in recent history where I was like, man, Ubisoft made a good move on that one. I think the last time I thought Ubisoft made a good move was in the TV show. When they made the TV show.
Oh, yeah. The
TV show's
Rayman
gas. I recommend it. That shit is a gas. And then the second time I thought that was while I was watching the TV show, they had Cody Rhodes in it. I was like, that was a good move.
Yeah.
That was
a good move. Not Ubisoft, but he did a good move in there. That was a good move.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, y'all funny as shit. And then that was it. And that's where a lot of my love for. I mean, man, I had no love. Like, it's crazy because I was never. And this is just a me thing. Sorry for the tangent. I was never a huge Ubisoft head because I was very late to the PS3 era. So like Assassin's Creed 2 didn't blow me away.
Yeah.
Not because the game wasn't good. I think it's a phenomenal game, but I wasn't there from the jump. You know, I wasn't seeing this shit for the first time. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then like they started doing bullshit. Like I was playing Unity and I'm like, this shit is fucking garbage. Y'all really be, and people are like, no, Ubisoft, just had a rough patch. Like, I was never sipping the Ubisoft Kool-Aid, man. To me, these motherfuckers have been pretty mid consistently. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Far Cry 3, one of my favorite games of all time.
Solid.
Far Cry 4,
great game.
Pretty alright. Like I was like, and then 5 I was like, y'all just whatever. I could talk shit about Ubisoft all day. We don't have time for it, but Ubisoft, stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it.
Oh, facts.
Go over there and sit on your hands. Like that's what I feel when I see Ubisoft doing it. Go over there and sit on your hands.
Don't touch nothing in here, bro.
Don't move.
Gosh,
God
man.
damn.
Ridiculous.
Every time we look at you, you're making an ass game. Stop doing that.
Stop it, son. Just stop, bro. Oh shoot, no, it's facts. We can move on though. We can talk real quick about The Outer Worlds 2. There was a brand new exclusive gameplay drop from IGN. They're doing a month-long reveal about some of the game as it's set to drop this year. Again, just dropping on some deeper details like the RPG systems being expanded, thinking about just like, you know, a lot of comparison to Deus Ex and Dishonored about how the actions may play a factor in your gameplay, stealth being improved, again, just a lot of different options and scanners and things like that. The gunplay to me looked really crazy. Just a lot of really cool stuff that was in there, a lot of great tweaks and improvements. The game looks smoother, a lot of stuff looks really good to me in my opinion, but I wanted to get your take on what you saw from The Outer Worlds 2.
I think it looks really good. I re-downloaded it. I need to go back and play. I love hearing that the gunplay is gonna be smoother. Also the addition to stealth is something that you don't really hear too much of, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I think like a lot of RPG stuff is like kind of like a secondary thing, and that's just me personally. I never run stealth unless I have to. Yeah. I'm not a big stealth player because it's more thinking than I would like. But I think for the people who do play stealth games or play games in the stealth with a stealth mindset, shout out to them. Like I'm happy for them that they'll be getting these additions, and it might make me approaching situations more inclined to use stealth. Yeah. But I love what they're doing to the game, adding more to it, and their inspirations are also really like when I heard, I think it was like, what did they say? They said like Destiny was inspiring some of their gunplay, or am I tripping?
In their gunplay stuff? Yes, they did. They did cite it. They were like, yeah, Destiny was going to be some of that backdrop.
Yes, Destiny has inspiration. Yes. So I'm happy that they said that because Destiny's a lot of fun. The gunplay of that game is a lot of fun, and if that's what you're picking, solid choice. So I can't wait to see what this game shapes up to. I need to play Outer Worlds 2 or at least watch one of those like story deep dives recaps into it. Yeah. Because I want to play this game, but I think when 2 dropped, I didn't get super far, but I remember playing and having a fun ass time. And I don't remember what happened. I just stopped. But I might go back to playing that game because that game was I think it was one of those like hidden gems. I feel like so it's underrated to Avowed, where it's like people who played it loved it, and people who didn't play it just shit on it because they're not gonna play it.
100%, bro. It was absolutely an underrated gem the year it came out. I can't remember what year it came out, but I remember playing it. I'm like, yo, this shit is so fun. Dog, it feels like a lifetime ago. I need to go back and play the DLC because they did that stupid DLC thing where like I don't really put it. I think they might have paywalled it and like they made it required for something. It was some weird requirement that they did, and then I think they might have removed it since. But I got to go back and play a DLC still. But For Outer Worlds 2, I love the stealth inclusions. Again, I like to do, again, playing stealthy is healthy, trying to include that where I can. The game just looked a lot more smooth. Again, that's the biggest thing that really stood out to me. Just that crispness and moving through the environments and how the enemy animations were and how people were reacting. That felt a lot smoother. Again, the gunplay did feel really good. There was a moment in the gameplay that was shown off where he threw a grenade in the air and he just did the time dilation and slowed it down and shot the grenade midair. So the physics in there as well, just really playing that factor to be that much more dynamic, and I love it. And you saw some of that, again, there's the witty commentary and the witty dialogue that was in there with different characters, just the quirky personalities. I love that type of stuff. I love that writing that again, Obsidian puts into their games. So I'm excited. This is a day one cop for me, obviously. Again, I'm gonna try and play it as soon as I can, when it drops. I'm excited for Outer Worlds 2. Simple as that.
Yeah, same here.
Facts, man. Well, we can slide on here. We can move into the trailer trove, the section with War Watchable Media, talking about the TVs, the animes, and all that good stuff. But let's start with some news about God of War, because the God of War TV series apparently has been confirmed to have 2 seasons already greenlit at Amazon. And now the thing that may be a bit of a kick in the nuts is that the showrunner, Ronald D. Moore, said he tried to play those games but stopped when he couldn't figure out modern controllers, saying, I'm not a gamer. When help me.
Oh,
help me.
Nah,
please.
Nah, that man didn't try. That man didn't try. Come on, bro. Come on.
All you gotta do is move one thing with your one thumb.
Nah, bro.
Press a button with the other, gang.
Nah. You're lying. Nah, you didn't want to play the bitches. I'd rather you say I don't like video games. Like,
dog.
I don't.
Just be real with me, man. Just be real.
Keep it $160, bro. You didn't play them bitches. There's no way. I'm not a modern gamer. The fuck does that mean? It really hasn't changed. What from the Nintendo? Yeah, if you're talking about if you played on the Nintendo Entertainment System and then you try to play PS5, you're right. It's different. It is different. Not hard though. It is not. It's not hard. I just you ain't try, bro. You ain't. Bro. And you know what he could have said? I didn't play it. I'll watch the cutscenes though.
Dog,
he didn't do that.
Didn't even say, "Oh, I'll just watch some of the cutscenes." Like, bro, didn't even say it.
Yeah, liar. Stop playing, brother. Come on, bro. Come on. Yes, this shit's chopped. that man is not. Because the thing is like God of War takes inspiration from the Greek gods and the Norse gods, but they kind of put their own twist to them. And even when it's similar, it's their own version of it. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that's gonna really be a hurdle for a showrunner, is if you don't play the games and you don't know how they wrote these characters, you're going to assume you're going to use your biases from the original text or the original stuff and be like, well, I don't think Thor would be like this, And when in the game, he is like this.
Yeah.
That's my concern with that. I have yet to watch the Yakuza game after the Yakuza show after they told me the person never played the games. So again, I really just am not interested in non-committed ass showrunners. It just doesn't make sense. It's like saying, it's literally like if the person who made the Hunger Games movies was like, I never read the books.
Dog.
I didn't read the books at all. Like, who's involved? Is Santa Monica involved? Are the people from the game involved, or did y'all just buy the rights?
Dog, to that I'm not even sure. I feel like Santa Monica still has some involvement with it. Probably Barlog has some type of, like, again, just eyes on it. Hopefully. But this is literally like, bro, it's an open note test. Why are you guessing? Why are your eyes closed?
Yeah,
like, open your eyes. You're good. Like, trust me, it's not gonna and this is the thing that's always gotten me, because I've heard the argument from some people who are like doing show running stuff and whatever, being like, oh, we didn't want that to skew our perception and interpretation of the games. Hear me out. You have a brain. You know what they're interpreting, and you can do a different direction. I promise you, you can make those subtle changes. You can make certain things a little bit different. The Last of Us is doing a lot of that, where they're coloring in between the lines. Again, they're back season 2 and all that stuff like that right now. And it may not be the cup of tea for the gamers that played the games and went through, but still it's giving good TV because it got color and stuff that's still within much of the bounds of what the game set up, but still has a little bit of room for them to operate. You can still find those lines, but if you're going with no context from how any of the games were made, how any of these characters work, how any of the narrative is, you're just gonna start treading over everything and start to make, in my opinion, mistakes between how the soul and ethos and the presentation of the game really, again, the IP is, and what you're trying to do. You might cross some wires that you weren't meant to cross, and you're gonna make people look kind of stupid, and you're gonna do things like making Master Chief take his mask off, take the helmet off and stuff, the beginning of the show. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's, you guys, look at the notes. Look at the notes. Please look at the notes. Stop ruining these shows because you want to have your chin up and think you're above watching a video game. And I didn't even say playing a video game. I said watching. Watch the cutscenes, take the notes, and go from there. I promise y'all, I believe in y'all. Y'all have enough brain power to look at something and then interpret differently when you're executing an interpretation of the show. That's all I'm saying. Lock in. Lock in. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. That's all I gotta say. Don't piss me off. All right, moving on. The rest of the regular stories. Hey, Ubisoft has kind of been saved. They have kind of been had a weight put off of their shoulders because Ubisoft and Tencent over the past month and change, they came to an agreement and they're officially spinning out some of their biggest franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six to a brand new subsidiary that is backed by Tencent. So we're still waiting for some details on what that means for some of the employees and what the setup is going to be. But they're taking some of the big debts and big things away from the Ubisoft company as is, and they're moving it to a brand new company that's backed by Tencent. So they have some backing. They might have some real stability now, and all the thoughts and fears about them completely selling and just kind of potentially going under, they're probably quelled at this point, and they have they have a steady ground again. So how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about Ubisoft still being in business? Fucking question to ask. What's gonna change? I guess like that's my biggest concern. Who's in charge? If Tencent's in charge, Ubisoft is gonna get better. More monetized for sure, but better. But the games will be better. If Tencent is just giving them money to stay afloat, they should just gave me that fucking money at that point. They're just not. The last good game I've seen them was Shadows. Like that shit looks like a lot of fucking fun. Yeah. But they just keep making mistakes that just piss me off. Like they just don't. They have not delivered. Like that run of Assassin's Creed 2, Far Cry 3, like they will never get that era of Ubisoft back. Bro. I feel. And I think it's just because of small. It seems because of the people who are involved are just they're out of touch, and it's unfortunate. Happy that they have somebody backing them and somebody that believes in them, and I hope Tencent really pushes them in the right direction. But the opposite could be we get the same quality Ubisoft games with more microtransactions. Like that could be the opposite of it. Or a MOBA Ubisoft, which like no, like a Ubisoft MOBA would be cool. I always think of Tencent, I always think of League of Legends, but they just don't have like the lineup to make anything other than a third person action MOBA, which in and of itself could be cool, but again, like I don't know, like I don't really know what can save Ubisoft at this point outside of making better games. Like that's all I ask for, is just to make better games. Far Cry 7, make it way better. Just don't Ubisoft it. Don't put so much unnecessary bullshit in there just for the sake of content. Like stop making me find fucking posters on walls all around the map. That's not fun. Stop doing that bullshit. It's not. I don't know. I really wish I could figure out the Ubisoft problem.
Yeah, and then listen, that'd take a whole level of a whole other case study in and of itself, because that's a fucking conundrum and a half, bro. But do I think this is a good move? I mean, for the sake of them surviving, obviously, yes, it's a good move. But will good come from this for the consumer? I hope so. Having these main three franchises that already have some level of operation and kind of spinning them all from the eyes of the Guillemets specifically, that might bring some consistency again to Assassin's Creed's roadmap, to Far Cry. Again, like Wen mentioned, I don't need to go into that because he covered that pretty well. To Rainbow Six, what's going to be like that? Again, they're doing a whole Rainbow Six 2. What's that going to be like? What's their roadmap in terms of any of those things? And so their flagships are kind of going off in one direction, and that puts a lot of, again, weight on them to perform, and where Tencent has them giving some backing and strategic, like, help and partnership. That may be something that's good for them. On the other side, the stuff that's still sticking with Ubisoft, what is it going to be like? What is that going to look like? It does the ability to spin those franchises off allow for new focus in those IPs? Because I'm going to stop speaking as, professionally. Don't piss me off. Where is that stealth remake? I don't even want to say the game. You know what I'm talking about. You know what game I'm talking about. You know what it is. Where is it? Where's Splinter Cell, bruh? Where is it?
So Netflix.
Oh, shut up. Don't say that. Don't say that. You're sick.
It's dropping soon.
You're sick. Oh my gosh. But literally, bro, if this move and this separation of focus is allowing the rest of Ubisoft to allocate the proper resources and time to IPs that really do need it and need to hit the ground running, in terms of the Splinter Cells, in terms of, sorry for triggering, Rayman, in terms of like those games that really are again, legacy IPs that they've decided they want to continue on with and really do and build potential new things. Are they going to get that proper support and focus now that the big flagships that have kept them up are Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six, that had so much gravity to them internally from what it seems like? Now, will the focus really lock in for quality games to be brought in across the board on both individual ends? Let's see. Let's hopefully see. That is what I hope for this deal, for this whole new spinoff. I hope there's focus for Ubisoft. Y'all can lock in and get the right resources to where they need, and stop trying to think with a backs against the wall mentality all the time, and just make good games. That's what it is. And that's all there is to it, man, to be real. But we can slide on here and we can talk about Marathon. We can talk about Marathon and their reveal that they had just a couple of days ago, with a whole lot of information. Again, just talking about their launch. They're coming September 23rd on all major platforms except for Nintendo, PS5, Xbox, PC, and all that stuff like that. Again, just thinking about the movement, PvP, extraction type of stuff in this whole world where, again, people kind of abandon their whole human bodies for these different types of apparatus. I don't know what else to call them exactly. I forgot the thing off the top of my head. Runners, you know what I'm saying? The runners, you know what I'm saying? Just cybernetic mercs, basically. A lot of different classes and stuff to get in. Again, there's PvP, PvE in this vast landscape and world. Just a lot of different things that, again, change your loadouts, change your customizations, things you can do to upgrade yourself. Again, just the loot that is around the map. I believe it's what like cores and stuff that might upgrade your abilities, like double jumping and triple jumping. A lot of different levels of just customization. And just adapting your player to, again, get what you need and get what you want in this environment. For me, I think the biggest thing that stood out was the aesthetics of it. I really like this look. I really like the look of this world and how it was being built up and positioned. But I want to hear your thoughts, bro. How you felt about Marathon?
I think it looks interesting. It reminds me of Destiny gameplay, which, again, like I said, super fucking fun. I think it got a lot of hate, and
yeah,
it got a lot of hate.
They've been getting bombarded, bro. Which is, hey man, continue though.
Like I mean, I don't really know what people expect. I guess I don't really hate extraction shooters. I think Tarkov just kind of put a bad, like, I didn't even play Tarkov. I just think like the Tarkov made that entire like concept like whatever to me. But I don't know. That gameplay kind of looks fun. Like that's kind of just like I keep going back to. Like the gameplay kind of looks fun. I just don't like. You already know. I don't really like big. I don't like PvE.
Yeah.
Because if I'm shooting a bunch of fucking zombies or monsters or whatever, and I get cool shit, and somebody just waits at the end point, or I get ambushed, like I think that shit is so bogus. Because I was like, oh, cool. So that was what the fuck was the point of that? Similar reasons why I don't like battle royales as much anymore. Because like when I'm looking for gameplay or like fun things to do, I'm not looking to like drop in, get the loot, and then I get hoed on some bullshit because somebody was playing like a scrub. And not even a scrub, because I feel like if I'm losing to it, I'm the scrub.
Yeah.
But like
the scummy tactics, third party, and just a lot of variables that aren't necessarily like they aren't necessarily entirely skill based. It's more like positioning, opportunity, all that stuff like that.
And it's just like, all right. Does the game look cool though? I think it looks cool. I think it looks fun. I think it probably will be fun because I'm not real. I'm on the type of time these days of like whatever makes you happy. Yeah. And if I play this game and I have a lot of fun with it, I'm gonna keep playing the game. Like I don't really care what other people have to say, especially if the gameplay is similar to Destiny's PvP, because that shit is fun. Destiny PvP at one point was like my fucking shit. That shit was super gas. That being said, will I pay money for this game? No. Yeah. That's also just me.
And that's the kicker right here. I think that's where a lot of people had some issue with here, that they're kind of going this route of, again, they're going with a premium drop, $40 entryway, and then they'll have a battle pass that people can get into, and you'll get content given pretty consistently from there. I want to double check the plan here. They had 3 maps at launch, so again, big extraction maps, big rotation, so that's probably a lot of gameplay you can get into. 4th map shortly after. The report is $40 as an entry point. That could be subject to change. We don't know what it is, but they said it's not going to be nowhere near like a top flight, like $70, $80 game. You know what I'm saying? It's not Mario. It apparently isn't Mario Kart Worlden, but still will have some money attached up front. And that's interesting because, again, we had the whole debacle with Concord and how Concord was. But I think what at least separates them from that is that this world looks way more colorful, vibrant, interesting. And I think that gameplay loop is going to be a lot more smoother coming from Bungie and their background and what they know how to do with first-person shooters. I think that's going to be a big differentiator for them. But again, it's going to be hard to make a splash with that upfront cost. You got to be very careful with that, and you have to be incredibly consistent with how much you drop content. It has to be. Again, unfortunately, games and giants have set the pace for everybody else. Marvel Rivals trying to drop a character every month has unfortunately skewed people's perceptions of how content really is supposed to be digested in the space today. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. It is how consumers are perceiving it at a broad level. So you got to be cognizant of that. So if the pricing plan is going to be somewhere in terms of an upfront fee and then battle pass stuff to supplement going forward, you got to make sure there's stuff damn near again, 6 weeks was my estimate of Marvel Rivals before, and what I give most people who are really in tow in terms of big AAA level, like those experiences that are ongoing, every 6 weeks there's got to be something that's substantial and that's new. Really keep it into the funnel and keep going like that. And it's tough. I don't know how people are going to react to that. Again, you're fighting against the Apexes. The Tarkov got an upfront fee on it too, but they're legacy, so it kind of doesn't count. But you're going against Apexes, you're going against Fortnites and all that stuff like that. This is the type of things that you're fighting, really to try and do that, because I mean the consumers aren't going to discriminate like that, or they're not going to discern, oh, this is more extraction shooter or not. Oh no, it's an FPS game. Oh, Apex is an FPS game. You know what I'm saying? They are not given that level of care like that until they buy the game itself, truly. So you've got to come with something that's very, very impactful off the bat. I think that there's the makings of a solid game here. And again, it's a Bungie game that I'm interested in. I don't know if I'll buy it day one, but I'm interested to see how it develops. You know what I'm saying? And I might jump in, at some point if I'm getting good signs. But for its performance and success, the balance between their content and that price point that they're either giving up front or whatever, it's gotta be, you gotta walk that tightrope, bruh. Because one, again, if you get it right, you're in the promised land and you got something that everybody's really enjoying. If not, you're gonna be right next to where Concord is, and that's not where you want to be.
No. I think a lot of people who are like shitting on it before they even played it. Well, one, again, for anybody who's listening, if you're following a content creator who's just consistently shitting on video games with no real reason, they're probably miserable. So like, take everything with a grain of salt.
They got
Does the game look like do not listen to people who if they shit on games more than they praise games, you are in the wrong place. There is just no reason. Like, the motherfuckers may genuinely just not really like video games. That being said, just take everything with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Play the game yourself. Does the game look groundbreaking? Fuck no, it doesn't. I doubt we will see a groundbreaking game that often as we do these days. Like, even games like the last, I don't want to say the last, but like Elden Ring, groundbreaking. And what Baldur's Gate, groundbreaking. But if you look at fucking Baldur's Gate, just watching somebody play a snippet of it, you're gonna be like, this shit looks stupid to a lot of people. And then when you play, you're like, whoa, this shit is actually fucking crazy.
Facts.
And that's really what it comes down to, is like, tap in. Just tap in. If you think the game is gonna be whack, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But don't shit on my parade if I find this game fun because you never tried it, you know?
Literally.
So play games for yourself.
I agree. That's a great way to top that off, man. Marathon, we'll see, but just enjoy the game if it's fun for you, man. Find your own way. Yeah, man. For real. That's real talk, man. But we can, you know what I'm saying, get to this one right here, this last story of the day. So Sakurai, I think he was in the press with some comments that he had recently, and this brought up a really interesting topic. I think it was VGC speaking with him, and it was just brought up the topic of Japanese games and having them kind of translated for Western audiences. And to break this down a little bit here, the full translation here was, this isn't just my own opinion. Again, from Sakurai, he says, and I quote, "This isn't just my own opinion, but Japanese game developers should simply make games that they themselves would enjoy. In recent times, I believe there has indeed been a movement to Americanize things more, as various media are, of course, very well received in America. However, those who enjoy Japanese games probably aren't looking for that type of Americanization of games. Rather, I think they are looking for something unique and interesting from Japan. Ideally, I think game developers should just make games that they want to make, and hopefully those who can accept that will enjoy them." So basically saying, you don't need to Westernize your games. You don't need to change the framing of them, you know, coming from a lot of the Japanese perspective. You don't need to change what that game is to appeal to the Western audiences like that. Make the game that you want to make, and those who enjoy, they will come. So how do you feel about that take and that stance?
Based, like, that should just make sense. I want to say I don't really know what it means to Americanize the shit, but I do know what it means to Americanize the shit. And man, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. If motherfuckers only want to eat chicken nuggets when they're at the steakhouse, like, that's their problem. Like, you can make something, like, do you know how many people first turn-based game, or the first turn-based game they've played in a while, was Baldur's Gate? Like, do you know how many people's first FromSoft game was Elden Ring? Yeah. Motherfuckers was not tapping into Elden Ring. They were not tapping into FromSoft. They did not care. And then Elden Ring dropped. And they were like, ooh, hold on a second. I heard this shit's crazy. Like, a cousin of mine bought that shit. He's like, this shit hard as fuck, but it's fun. And I'm like, yeah, bro, the game is good. The game is good. So do not like bend the knee. Like, and that's why these grifters are on bullshit. Because the best games we play are games we are not expecting. Don't listen to a motherfucker who doesn't make a video game tell you what you should like in video games. It's not the titties that make video games gas. It's not. Like, it's motherfuckers going out there and chasing their fucking dreams and trying to make something new and fun. And that's really it is, at the end of the day, just something new and fun. And motherfuckers will tap the fuck in. Balatro took the world by storm, but you didn't hear the fucking grifter thing like, we need a poker game. No, the fuck they weren't. No, there's no titties in Balatro, last I checked. And that shit is fucking heat. Like, don't listen to fucking don't listen to anybody. Play the games. Look at the fucking gameplay videos. Look at no commentary, whatever fucking game you want to play. and watch this shit and see if like, I wonder if this will be fun for me, or I wonder if I'll have fun. Watch people make video essays about why they enjoy the game. But even then, everything with a grain of salt. I love Death Stranding. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I literally never not have fun when I play the game. But that shit may not be for you. And that's fine. That doesn't make my opinion any less valid because you don't enjoy it. It's less valid to you. But when I say that's my favorite game, that's a fact because it is my favorite game. I'm the only one who can make that a fact. So this is a perfect example of like, hey, me, somebody who's made fucking bangers, Kirby Air Ride, fucking Smash Bros. It's telling you, I don't compromise. And he shouldn't. Why the fuck would he? Why the fuck should anybody?
Facts.
You don't like Persona? That's on you. I'm sure there's a bunch of other motherfuckers who are ready to buy that shit day one.
Not wrong. Not wrong at all. And that's really been a growing sentiment for me for a long time, and not even just applied to gaming, just in general context of there is obviously, because the West and specifically America is very, very dominant in consumer buying and a cultural hub for many things in the world, including gaming markets. People kind of play to those tastes. They have to kind of adjust their image of what they wanted for their art to fit that. And I think in that process, we lose a lot of quality and we lose a lot of cultural context that is pure to where it's coming from. And I think that's the things that make a lot of things great. That diversity of thought, that diversity of, this is a perspective that you've never seen before. This is how, these things are. Why does everything need, what I'm saying? I don't want to, what I'm saying, not to say for like a job market or anything like that, but I'm cool with listening to games from Japan and just putting subtitles on it. I'm not mad at it. I can pay attention to the words. I don't need an English voice acting cast for it. Again, thinking about how movies are. Think about how most of the world has to either remake a version in America or, have American actors for some type of spinoff or whatever. They have that influence of English in there. But for us and the rest of the world, we don't do that. America doesn't, adjust themselves too much for those audiences outside of some subtitles. Maybe a couple extra voice actors who do the lip reading and stuff like that for films and stuff. But the transaction isn't equal. The transaction isn't equal, and I think for people trying to play into the Americanized way of consumption and how people take that imagery of their art, it muddies certain things. And I think Sakurai's spot on. I think you don't have to Americanize anything to make art good. If anything, the art that you make should be true to you and true to your perspective. And people who are really going to take to that, they're going to find a way to consume it. I've seen many of people, again, just find a way, whether it be a game that's banned in the country or whatever, in a different language or whatever. Man, throw those subtitles on, man. We gonna figure it out. Again, anime a prime example. People gonna figure out what they saying. I'm gonna put these subtitles on and watch it because it look good to me. This thing look fire. The characters look dope. And as soon as I understand what they saying, the plot fire too. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? K-dramas, another prime example. Like most of the things that they say is not in English. It literally in Korean. There's some a couple of English words and stuff that happen like every now and again, but whatever. Most of it is in Korean. But you put subtitles on that joint and do it because the dialogue is fire. Them stories is fire. It is what it is. I just think that, again, especially over the years, when you think about how JRPGs were scrutinized by Americans so many times, bruh. I don't want to point out the G4 example, but the G4 example is there. If you know, you know. Like, how many times there's been that, you have to adjust yourself because the American, consumer market is that step up that you have to kind of fit the mold of. And that's not necessarily what art is meant for. That's not what video games are necessarily meant for. They're meant to be, again, showcase worlds you haven't seen before, showcase the perspectives of creators who are trying to create these wonderful things, but they don't have to be, I get that, again, at a bare minimum, they have to be accessible to people. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? So putting subtitles and things like that is there. But when you start to change your vision of what the game is to fit audiences that, aren't from your perspective, that might muddy some things. And that's where I don't want games to be like that. That's my thing. I don't want every game to be Americanized. I don't. I ain't gonna say all that, bro. I'm not gonna go to the point I was gonna say. But if you notice how most of the world is really starting to build and diversify from their own content, like just sources in terms of their own movie markets and everything like that. Europe, again, it really has solidified their own like television and movie stuff going forward. Thinking about all those things, about how across the world content from outside the country is hot, and they're building, they're growing, they're establishing that in their own selves, and they're reflecting their own culture back on themselves instead of getting everything from America. You know what I'm saying? And getting a lot of things from America and trying to port that over and play into that. There's a purity in that people should look for in terms of finding that perspective that isn't theirs and seeing how the real intentions behind that, unmitigated by some type of translation or recasting for an American audience. You know, there's accessibility, and then there's, I think, muddying what the image of the game was and what the vision was to fit the comforts of other audiences. And I don't think that part is really fair. I don't think it's fair. Let the art be the art, man. Let the art be the art. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Like if I walked into a, and I just always think back to like other forms of media. Like if I walked into a French film that was critically acclaimed for having being a crazy drama, I mean, I'm in there like, why the fuck is there no fucking Batman or Superman in this movie? It's just not for me. But there's a difference between subtitles of that French movie being in English and being there and being available to me. Yeah. And wanting the whole movie to accommodate me. You are, unfortunately, and it's something that a lot of people need to understand. I think everybody needs to understand truly. You are not the main character of the world. We do not have to bend the knee to you. If you don't fuck with it, move on about your day. If you feel like it's an injustice, you can speak out on it, but everybody also gets to give their opinion about that. So if it's an injustice that no big titty girls are in fucking whatever game you're playing, everybody else gets to call you a weirdo because it's facts. You're weird for that. That's facts, bro. And that's what really kind of comes down to, man. Like, you're not, like, get over it. You're not the main character. And honestly, if they always tried to accommodate to us, we wouldn't have a lot of good games that we now enjoy till this day. Facts, bro. And again, that's for me in general. There's always a line with catering to audiences, because and this just turned into a whole creative conversation anyways. There's so much that the people want and what you have to kind of have in your mind, and that takes you out of your own mind. That takes you out of your own process. That takes you out of the ideas that you wanted to bring to life and really bring forth to show people something that they ain't seen before. And that consideration and trying to toe that line and trying to figure out what's best, it's tough. It's tough for all kinds of creatives, especially in the video game industry. But my advice, what I would say is, gamers do not know best most of the time, bro. We do not know best. I promise you. Evidence is obviously there. People's spending habits, people's commentary about what should and shouldn't be in gaming. Consumers don't always know best. Matter of fact, they rarely do. Most of them don't. So leading with your heart and making sure the purity of your project and your vision comes to life as best you can, and collaborating with a team to bring that out in the best way possible, regardless of whatever translations, whatever, considerations that people want you to make. Stay true to that path. Stay true to yourself and make that art happen. And I promise you, staying true to that is going to be the best way for people to see it, take to it, and really enjoy it for the experience that it is. That's where I'm at. So I Sakurai spot on. Damn, that was a meta ass talk, bro. That was deep as hell. I ain't had a deep conversation like that in a solid little minute, man. But hey, that was solid right there. It was good. But we are out of topics. That's all I got for this episode, man. Anything that we might have missed, Wen? Not that I'm aware of.
Me neither, bro. I'm hungry as hell, and I'm gonna miss it on purpose if we did miss something. I'm gonna be real with you. But we gonna get up out of here for episode 133. Wen, give us your closing notes.
Drink water, take a shower, play the games that make you happy.
100%. Oh yeah, and I did leave this off on purpose, but I will say, Fantastic Four. Throw that 4 up. Throw that 4 up.
Yeah, that should look good.
Throw that that 4-up. We back. I've been
good.
oh my gosh.
Oh, side note, the motherfuckers who are mad about the Silver Surfer, go
eat nuts.
Take a shower.
Eat nuts and read comics because literally a woman Silver Surfer or a female Silver Surfer was alive before you can even think of a thought. So watch your mouth.
I'm sorry to tell y'all that it is canon. You don't care.
Facts.
Man, a woman basically naked is on my screen, and that shit's a problem. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. One moment we don't have enough sexy women. The next moment we have too many sexy women. Y'all just angry,
bro. Like y'all need help. Y'all might need to be institutionalized, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What's wrong with y'all, bro? What's wrong with y'all? Anyways, throw them 4s up. The real ones got the 4s up right now. Y'all know what time it is, man. Shout out to y'all. Make sure you go like the video on YouTube. Go check out all of the platforms and support on audio channels, video channels, all that. No Cooldown podcast or No Cooldown pod will be right there. And for episode 133, I've been that man Trip. That's been Went Easy. Hey, we are out of there. What?